Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to Thrive with Shantae. I'm Shantae Charles. Listen, would you believe me if I told you that 4 out of 6 Americans don't have $1,000 saved up? Shocking, huh? I mean, this is America, land of opportunity, land of the free, land of the American dream, land of where you can come with no money, make something of yourself. When I first heard it, I was like, really? But I'm not really surprised, especially with the pandemic. A lot of people haven't recovered. Inflation is at an all-time high. I mean, here where I live in Minot, North Dakota, the prices of eggs is at $7 for a dozen. Like $7, eggs used to be the cheapest thing that you could eat when you were like low on money. You just make you up an omelet, throw in some cheese, and you good to go. But now, eggs are so high, it's ridiculous. But this is where we're at in America, and probably a lot of other places as well. But talking about here in America. Now, I also found out that 6 out of 10 Americans don't even have $500 in savings. I mean, $500 really is not a lot of money. But 6 out of 10 Americans don't have $500. I mean, that was really shocking. But like I said, when I really thought about it, really wasn't surprised when I consider that a lot of people have not recovered from the pandemic and inflation is at an all-time high. Now, if you don't have an emergency fund of $1,000 or $500, maybe you have $0 saved up. I don't want you to panic. There is hope. The first thing I want you to do in order to help secure your financial future is get on a budget. Budget is not a dirty word. It's not a bad word. A budget will help you. It will help you in the future. It will help you get control of your financial future. I like to say, as I learned from Jamal King, he says having a budget tells you exactly how much it costs to be you. In order to thrive financially, you have to know exactly how much it costs to be you. So I want to encourage you to create a budget. I know when I was broke and struggling, had very little money, I did not want to create a budget because it was like, you know what I'm creating a budget for? I already know I don't have enough money. I'm barely even living paycheck to paycheck. Wasn't even living paycheck to paycheck because there was hardly any paycheck to live on to the next paycheck. If you know what I mean, if you've been there before. But I did not want to create a budget because it's like right in front of your face of just how much in lack I was. I had to face it. But once I learned to create a budget, it taught me exactly how much it costs to be me. And I want you to do the same thing. A budget will help you figure out whether or not you have just enough money to meet your financial obligations, or if you're at a financial deficit. A budget will help you figure that out. Now listen, if you need your credit card to pay your light bill, your water bill, your gas, to pay gas in your car, what have you, and you're not able to pay that credit card in full at the end of every month, that means that you're at a financial deficit. Now, being at a financial deficit, it could be one or two things. It may be that your spending habits are not in control and you need to cut back in some areas, or it may be that you don't make enough income. For many people, it's not that you are spending frivolously. You're not going out and buying a lot of things that you can't afford. You're not eating out all the time. But it's simply that you don't make enough. You don't make enough money to cover your financial obligations. I know that's what the case was with me. I simply did not make enough money. But once you figure out what your budget is and you figure out whether or not you make enough money or you're barely getting by, the second thing I want you to do is increase your income. We all know, or we should know from watching the news, that no job is guaranteed. Even before the pandemic, no job was guaranteed. Your job may be going good today. Tomorrow you go in, they tell you they're closing. Some jobs may lay off people. They may give you a notice, give you a severance. Some jobs may not give you a notice, may not give you a severance. But you want to be prepared for whatever the future may hold. You know, Pastor Jamal Bryant preached a message a while ago titled, "These hoes ain't loyal." I was like, whoa, these hoes ain't loyal. But let me tell you something. These jobs ain't loyal either. These jobs ain't loyal. Jobs, they don't care about you. They don't care. They are like, will say they don't have enough money. They got to lay off people. Meanwhile, the CEO of the company is getting a $3, $4, $5, $6 million bonus. Like, hold up. I thought y'all didn't have any money. You don't have any money, but homeboy, homegirl is getting this multi-million-dollar bonus. But I want you to figure out how to increase your income, because even if your job is going well, you never know what the future may hold, and you want to be prepared for whatever curveballs life may throw you. You may not get fired. Your job may not downsize. Your job may not close, but you may become ill and not be able to work again, or may not be able to work for a period of time. And you don't want that to the inability to work to affect your finances. So create additional income so that you'll have additional money, and that you're not just dependent on income from your job, because you never know what may happen. Now, some of you may be like, well, I don't know how to create additional income. I don't know how to do that. Some people resort to getting another job. I always tell people, don't get another job, especially if you are a woman. Having another full-time job can be very stressful, very stressful. And as women, we're not built to take on stress. You don't want to start looking old. You don't want to start looking like your husband, your man's, your significant partner's grandmama, all old because you're tired and stressed. No, we're not about that life. But I want to encourage you to figure out what it is that you already have in your hand that you can turn into a profit. Listen, when I was a CNA 7 years ago, I was a CNA. I was making $12 an hour. This was before the pandemic and before they were giving out big bucks to CNAs. I was making $12 an hour. My husband had gotten laid off from his job. He found another job. Then he got laid off again, because we live in North Dakota. For many of you, you may not know that outside of Texas, North Dakota is the second highest producer of oil in the United States. And my husband's job is oil field related. He doesn't work directly in the oil field, but at the time he was making the tanks that hold the oil. So everything was going really well, making a lot of money. I mean, making a lot of money. But then one day he went to work and they called everybody into the office and they're like, oh, we're going to have to lay some people off. He didn't get laid off immediately, but in less than 30 days, the whole company had gone out of business. So here he was, usually making a whole lot of money. I only made $12 an hour. He was laid off. And because we didn't use wisdom and save some money or what have you, because prior to that, we had came here at the end of the recession of 2008 or what have you. And when we started getting some money, we were just like balling out, going here, going there, buying things. We didn't really save and plan and invest. So we found ourselves in a financial mess. But my husband, he found another job, but the same thing happened. Found another job, same thing happened. So I was like, oh Lord, I can't take this crap. I'm sick of this crap. What am I going to do? Because I'm the type of woman that I believe, just as the Bible says, that I'm my husband's helpmate. And I believe that a lot of times a man, he's just trying to figure out how to get another job to provide for his family. Some men don't sit down and think of, okay, what kind of business can I do? What can I do to start a business to make some money, what have you? Because they're all about, okay, I need a check. I need to make some money. I got to take care of my family. The rent, the mortgage coming due, light bill coming due. I got to get some money, and I got to get some money quick to take care of my responsibilities. But I was like, okay, what can I do to help take some of the stress off of my husband, to help my family? You know, I got a brain. What am I going to do? And the Lord said to me, you already know what to do. And I was like, huh? No, I don't. He said, yes, you do. And I was like, and that's when it dawned on me. I had an aha moment to start a non-medical home care agency. I had already previously had been doing home care as an independent contractor for the state of North Dakota, because here in North Dakota is one of the few states in America where you can be an independent contractor for the state, and Medicaid will pay you as an individual for taking care of the elderly and the disabled, to help them stay in their home. And out of the nursing home, Medicaid will pay you directly. Most other places you have to be an agency. But anyway, so the Lord said to me, you already know what to do. So that's when I started my non-medical in-home care agency. And it totally changed our financial trajectory. I went from making $12 an hour. By this time, because my husband had found a job, got laid off, we found a job, then we'll be a few months without work. We found ourselves on food stamps. We're getting food stamps. We're getting child care assistance, Medicaid, you name it. We probably got it. And I'm not ashamed to say that, because we're not there anymore. You know, a lot of times people will be ashamed to say where they were at in the past. But hey, I'm not ashamed, because I like to give hope to other people. If you find yourself there now, there is hope. But figure out what's in your hand that you can take to make a profit. I was a CNA. I was making $12 an hour. I took what I knew about taking care of elderly people, and I turned it into an agency where Medicaid paid my agency. They paid. Now, here in North Dakota, the rate that they paid individuals was pretty good, but the rate that they paid agencies at the time was almost $30 an hour. So I was able to hire people. I hired family members. I hired like 15. I hired like 15 people. It allowed me to make way more money. And I went from $12 an hour to over six figures in less than 12 months. And that was six figures in profit. That means after I paid taxes to the state, unemployment, workman comp, paid my employees, yada, yada, yada. I went from $12 an hour to over six figures in profit. So what I'm trying to tell you is, figure out what's in your hand that you can turn into a profit. We all have something that we're good at. And if you don't know, I want you to take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. On one side, write what you're good at. On the other side, write what you're great at. And then check off what people would be willing to pay you for. I had a friend once. I was teaching a class sometime last year on being ready for the recession. And I gave this tip, and she was like, well, I still don't know what I'm good at. I said, well, you've been on your job for 20 years. Obviously, you're good at something. You're great at something, or those people would have fired you a long time ago, because you got to be doing something right to be on a job for 20 years. So I told her, think about what it is that you do on your job. What it is that you do on your job that you can take those same skills and transfer them outside of your job that people would be able to, that people would be willing to pay you for. And she's like, oh, I never thought of that. So that's something I would tell you to do also. If you're like, well, I still don't know what it is, think about what it is that you currently do on your job that you can transfer outside of your job that people would be able, people would be willing to pay you for. And that's your side hustle right there. That's your side hustle. And that eventually you can turn into a legitimate business. Now, if you still don't know what it is that you can do, even after creating this list or trying to brainstorm, I want you to check out my video above on 3 side hustles that you can do with little to no money that will generate you an income in 2023. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Listen, if you found this information valuable, hit like, hit subscribe, share the video. Hope you come back next time. Have a great day.